Yo, it's Guido coming at you with Tactics Talk. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of World of Tanks with Geodan. Geodan_1 clan GFLC from my clan. And he's in his AMX ELC BIS. This is a fun little tank. I think I've actually featured this a couple times in the recent past. Geo sent me this replay and said, hey, I had a pretty good game, but is there anything I could have done better? And then I did a video, and then I realized I was calling him a different name. I think I was calling him Rackster. Anyway. So I deleted that video, and now we're doing a new one for Geodan to talk about his gameplay in his ELC. You can see that he's loaded into a Tier 5 battle, all Tier 5 on Malinovka. Snoranovka, as they call it. I love this map. I don't call it Snoranovka. It's a very fun map, especially for scouts. Fantastic map for scouts. He goes over here to a pretty aggressive early bush. I used to use this a lot back when there was a lot more sniping going on in this row of bushes and buildings. But they've changed that over the years. It's quite a bit different. It's still not a bad place. I actually like to get a little further into the middle so I can see further over this way and maybe catch guys. And my mouse is jacked up again still, guys. All right. Catch guys trying to get into these bushes up over here. But unfortunately, Geo gets a T50 who just YOLOs into him. So he comes in here, does a little auto aim. We've talked to Geo down a little bit about the auto aim thing. He does use it quite a bit. Whoa. Very difficult in a tank like the ELC, and he ends up killing that guy. ELC is kind of the prototype of the Brit light tank in that it's a tiny little thing. And it can get into places, much like the ELC even 90, those tanks in the Brit lights can get into weird little places that other tanks cannot get. Now, this is a great example of that. See that little tiny fold in the ground right there? Not many tanks can sit in that and disappear to where their turret isn't sticking up and over, and these guys can at least see him or maybe even get shots on him. Geo's tank can more or less disappear into this thing, go dark, get up into this bush, and not be seen. Well, maybe you got seen. Never mind. Geo, you're not supposed to prove me wrong just like that, man. The problem is that little V there let him see him, or maybe he wasn't quite unlit. However, he is still able to avoid most shots coming back at him. I don't know if the guy sees him, or maybe he took a hit, so he backs into there. There are 3 artillery, Geo, so sitting in one spot is probably not a great plan. Unless you know you're not spotted, and it looks like you're not. Again, with a lot of auto aim and third-person shooting, if you aim in there, I think I may have taken this opportunity to take this guy out. I'd have just sat here and waited. Is his back to us? Or did he just turn around? Maybe he just turned around. Is he backing out or something? That's pretty funny. He was out further just a moment ago. I would have taken the opportunity to kill him, fade back into that little hole. The thing is, you take him out, that's just one less guy over here to spot you and cause you issues. So while it's good to go passive and go dark, take those opportunities to kill guys when you can. Now this dude is, yeah, he's just turning to run. I think, again, I would have come up here and taken this opportunity. There we go. Nicely done. We back out. We get spotted. No surprise. Why? Because there's another ELC over there, and my guess is he's up in that bush. So I would have waited much longer to hopefully go dark. Bit surprised you don't get shot in the back, but maybe he's not actually in that bush, or he wasn't paying attention, or couldn't get zoomed. It does take a while for this 90 millimeter. It hits hard for Tier 5, but it has a terrible gun handling. So Geo's going to change what he's doing, and I agree with that. I would not continue to push that corner. There's no real use to it. Coming back over here and helping, or maybe he is going back. Yep, so I would have left. But let's see what happens then. Looks like maybe he saw the hill was doing fine and decided to come back this way. I thought that was an interesting decision. I don't like this approach, Geo, because if the ELC is in that bush, you're completely exposed. I'd have come up over here and put these bushes between. I'm messing up with my thing. I don't like this approach because that bush can see you come through here. So I would have come up over in this area right here and then up into these bushes right there to put those bushes between you and where that ELC was last seen. And yeah, I think he saw you right there. So we're just going to go at him, and then I thought you were going to spider monkey him. You get a little bit lucky there that he doesn't actually track you. And now we're just going to run off. It does have a relatively long reload, so I think you probably got away before he reloaded. So you know he is still in there. Again, the approach was bad, and that's why he saw you. And then I'm kind of asking, all right, why exactly are we trying to get in there? We looking to take him on? We trying to spot him? You should have done that by using the bushes, get your, you don't have binocs, but try to see if you can't catch him moving around. And I like this idea to get out of here. Hopefully I don't see you turn around again. I don't remember what you did, to be honest. I'm pretty sure you don't go back there having learned your lesson. That's a good thing. You should be able to learn things as you play. This approach is a little bit dangerous. The other ELC's got it locked down, but if somebody has some really good vision up in those bushes up there, they might end up seeing you. I would have faded further back towards your cap just to make sure I don't take a shot in the side for some silly reason. There's one thing, it's one thing to risk manage, it's another thing to take needless risks there. The tank's fast enough, I don't think you're going to lose a whole bunch by fading a little bit further back. Always when you're moving around, be cognizant of where you think the threat's going to come from, and then pad that a little bit, unless it's some kind of emergency or you have a real good reason to get somewhere really quick. Wait for this guy to make a mistake. Nicely done. We take him down. So I like that you went back up to the hill to see what's going on. If we look at the way they're deployed, the Stug, the ELC, not seeing a whole bunch coming from the hillside, I'd be surprised if there was really much up there. This is tier 5, so you get this kind of thing happening quite a bit. If this was a higher tier game, more than likely there'd be enemies all over this hill. Although the other piece of it is they have a lot of TDs. So there's a lot of stuff to analyze here. Low tier, lots of TDs. Maybe the KV-1S is up here, potentially. But as he has not been spotted, they have terrible camo, and nobody's seen him poking around trying to take shots. You might find guys over here in these bushes looking down. So I think I would have gone up to the edge a little bit just to make sure they're not in those bushes. Looking at, there you go. Just take a quick peek right here, so you can catch one of them. None of them are there, and now you're going to be able to use these bushes. I would have been a little more methodical on trying to, maybe this bush here, or even just right up to this little edge and take a look down there. See if you can't catch somebody out in the open without getting much closer. Because what this does is get you really close up in here to them. Good choice. This is a good bush. You find the bishop. This is a great opportunity. Just auto-aim him. I think you're hoping somebody kills him. Nothing doing. Come on, somebody shoot him. Now you got him to one shot. Oh, but you don't quite kill him, and you see that there is a RBFM, I believe, right there. Yep. I would have backed off that as opposed to spin around. I think you chanced taking a hit right there. Agree with this. Go ahead and get on back, but the good news is you've got the Panzer T25 coming up to help you. I thought you were going to run away, but you do turn around to help this guy. I think that's perfect. And between the two of you, you should be able to take down this RBFM if he decides to be silly and try to come in at you. And it looks like he sort of is. He's trying to take on the Panzer. Get a little auto-aim. Again, with the auto-aim thing, I think I would have zoomed in. Nicely done there. You do get some good RNG on some of these running shots. All right. No reason to go ahead and break into the open right here with this many TDs. Now, well, it looks like they're all down there, aren't they? Now, the T-67 may be in range. If that's what you were doing, looking at the minimap, then good on you. Low likelihood of anybody really being here. What are we missing? The T-67 unknown when it was last spotted. And we see the other two. So there you go. Maybe not a bad risk management decision right there. The bishop is kind of screwed. He's alone and unafraid over here. A nice job coming in here. Somebody takes a shot at him. He's a little dueling shots right there. If you use the power slide thing, you could have turned right around and pointed right at him. He may actually out-reload you at this tier, to be quite honest. So nice job running away. You don't take another hit, and you're able to get him dead. Talking about the earlier thing where you came off the hill, somebody's shooting at you there. I may have just done a courtesy spin around just in case. Looks like the T-67 or somebody's come back a little bit. At least he had a shot on you when you came down the hill there. The Panzer T-25 is moving in. That's going to help you get some spots. But as a scout with pretty good view range, you want to get on in there. He's taking hits, so somebody can see him, and he can't see. There we go. T-67. The auto-aim action. And a miss. I would have fine-tuned that shot. I think somebody actually blind shoots this guy. There we go. Somebody takes a blind shot. The guy doesn't even move. The IKV is now wandering around. Here's that crazy dispersion on this tank. Looks like you missed because it hit the ground. So that's how you know if you miss those shots when they go dark. If the shot goes in and disappears, then you probably hit them. Whether it penned or not is another question. I would sweep straight through to the corner just to make sure there's nothing in here. You're looking for that M41 HMC to get rid of him. He shouldn't have a whole lot of support, but you end up actually bailing out of it before you get close enough to potentially take him out. So I would have definitely got into that corner, made sure that that HMC goes away. You may have been thinking, though, if you get lit, that they'll have shots on you, so maybe not a bad idea. Unfortunately, though, once you start breaking out in the open, it's potential to put him behind you. So you have Artie behind you and those guys in front of you. He's got terrible view range, or he's got several bushes between you and him, so he doesn't see you, if that is indeed where he is. So we'll move up into these bushes and start looking, and we find the IKV just sitting right there. Down goes the IKV. ELC has pushed across, so he's not a factor at the moment. Looks like your camping RBFM will take him on. We find the Stug. He's behind several bushes. He doesn't see us because he's just about blind as a bat. Finally does see us. Nice shot right there. Good example of actually using the zoom in on that one as opposed to relying on auto aim. Plus, you're going to need a little bit of lead fire. Even with that relatively slow speed, he was going from left to right in that case. I probably would give him a little more lead fire. And goofing around with the auto aim again. Also, on this one, you knew you weren't going to get the shot because he was headed downhill and you saw that ridge. Once I saw him covering himself up, I just started driving immediately forward to get up over this ridge and get a shot on this guy. Looks like he's just charging right now. And another moving snapshot. And these, oh, he doesn't know how to handbrake. Big flourish at the end. 7 kills, 1,473 damage, 585 spotting. Dude, nice job, man, overall, using the mobility. Initial position was okay, I thought. I probably wouldn't have tried to go back. I think I have another video of me doing the same thing, going back to a spot that I knew was a bad spot and getting punished for it. The approach, though, on the second attempt to go in there was bad because it allowed you to be seen by the ELC that you knew was there, more than likely, based on him being spotted there. An opportunity or two of being able to take guys out where you didn't take the shot, although it didn't hurt you against the Sherman because you eventually killed him anyway right there. Nice reposition, meta flex up to the northeast to clear off the hill. First coming in here and killing the guy that was being aggressive, the only one it appears on the enemy team. Coming up to the top of the hill, clearing guys off of there, and then moving down. So really, really a nice job. I think the only things I would have for you are some small mechanical things with the constant auto-aiming and taking third-person shots. An auto-aim third-person shot with the bishop out in the open where you allow the circle to go all the way down to 0 is not a bad idea. That's fine. But in a lot of cases, your first instinct seems to be try to auto-aim somebody immediately when they show up, and that may not be the best plan. The best plan may be to get a better shot position or approach them from a different angle or slightly changed angle, and then use your zoom sniper shot to get your shot. The thing, there's so many things bad about auto aim. For example, you're trying to auto aim, say, one of these guys over here. So from here, I can auto aim that KV-1S, but if I zoom in, I don't even have a shot on that guy, right? Because I've got this ground in the way, and you don't often you can't quite see that you can only see a little bit of their turret, and your auto aiming center mass, and your shot's actually aimed right into the dirt. So that's just one example of where auto aim might not be a good idea. Plus, picking out weak spots, things like that, trying to track people, blah blah blah. But that's all I got, man. Thanks for sending that in. For everybody else, thanks for tuning in. If you like what you saw, you learned something, hit me a subscribe down there. If you want to support the channel, you can do so with all kinds of options down in the description. That's all I've got for today. See ya.